Habari za mchana. Good afternoon in Swahili. I'm Bo Hennessy, and this is the first edition of Brothers Talk. It is unscripted, and I will make mistakes, but I'm going to get my point across. About me, I was born in Georgia, the youngest of five, raised with my parents and my four siblings in a normal household. No issues, no police there every night. Fun, is all I can say. High school, graduated with honors. I was in the marching and concert band. I played the mellophone and the French horn very well, I might add. It was fun. In college, I was a collegiate cheerleader. I was in the theater program, and I was also co-lead in a R&B group based on the campus called Risque. Risque, can't nobody fuck with me, Risque. There it is. As far as employment, I've worked for almost every employer you could possibly think of: AT&T, Bell South, Wachovia, just all of them. It was a mess. I wish I had remembered the EEOC because a lot of those work environments were toxic. But to the reason why we're here is to reach out to all the brothers going through it with no relief in sight. I have joined a lot of groups that promise to be an ear to sort of set us on the right track, if you will, as brothers. You know, brothers helping brothers, that kind of thing. Brothers United, Atlanta 2.0, BMI, Black Men's Circle. These groups are getting funding, promising to help in the ways I just described, and aren't doing anything. The discussions go nowhere. It never touches on the core of what all black men are going through. And when I say all black men, that is saying that I have spoken to a plethora of brothers. There's so many brothers, and we're all basically going through the same thing. The good ones, we are friends. We want to be friends. We want to be brothers. We want to be involved and engaged with all the other brothers and just help. Specifically, there was one brother who related something to me that hit close to home. He said, and I'm sort of paraphrasing, he had all these people in his circle, all these brothers in his circle that he called friends. And whenever they would call him, no matter what, 2 a.m. to come and help with a bar fight, just whatever, he would answer the phone and he would try his best to be there. But when he called them, crickets, nothing. They ghosted him the second he needed something. And that's the point I want to make. I don't get any funding, and this isn't the last of these videos, because I'm going to encourage all of you who hear these videos to contact me and let me know what you're going through. And if there are brothers who also join in on these conversations who might have some solutions for some of the brothers, that again is what I'm looking for. And it wouldn't hurt to get a little funding either. But the brother was frustrated, and he was so frustrated that he was posting that video on the weirdest sites. And I thought to myself, it's serious out there when you're just trying to be normal. You're trying to get back to some sense of normalcy, but you can't seem to find anybody else who is on the same page with you. Well, I am. I've been through it, and I'm kind of still going through it. I've been homeless twice, in the same city where I was born and raised, with family here and everything, and family is not an option. I wanted to say was not, but is not an option. And that's sad, because if more of us really knew the nuances of our history and the nuances of what our ancestors went through, man, we'd be hugging each other like strangers. Every time you see a black person, you would run up to them and just hug them. If you knew, our ancestors were asleep one night, heard noises. Those noises were colonizers coming to take them away from the comfort of their tribe, of wherever they were, They were flourishing. They were doing awesome, and then they were stolen from that calm of night was interrupted by colonizers kidnapping them, putting them on the bottom hull of a ship like sardines, stacked like sardines, sick, all kinds of illnesses coming up because they were like different tribes, and just it was horrible. There were women who none of them knew what was going on, but there were women who sort of figured out what was going on. Like, this is not normal. We don't know what they're going to do to us. Worse than that, we don't know what they're going to do to our children. Some of the women killed their children so that their children would not end up in the new world as slaves. Imagine the day after you have been taken from that piece of Africa, and you wake up and you're in this strange place, and these people are speaking a strange language to you, and they're beating you, and they're forcing you to, listen to me closely, pick cotton in 99-degree weather all day until sundown. In those cotton fields were venomous spiders, snakes. You had to fight off all that. And remember, this is all new to you. You don't know what's going on. That's just a taste of it. And when I'm saying this to you because I'm encouraging more brothers to snap out of it and sack up and say, okay, that black brother right there, he's gay. I hate him. Stop it. Because that ain't going to matter in the long run. And if we don't stop that sister, she's ghetto fabulous, or she's just ghetto. Stop it. She's one of yours. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever beef you have, that guy right there, he seems to have grown up in a good lifestyle. I don't like that. Stop it. Because once again, he's one of yours. He's one of ours. And the most important point I want to make in this video before I end it is a victory for one of us is a victory for all of us. Failure for one of us is a failure for all of us. Now think about that. A lot of us must have failed because we're failing as a race. Brothers, sisters, sack up. Stop all of the pointless jealousy and infighting and hating just because. Because you're giving the colonizers exactly what they want. They want us to hate each other on sight. We do. They want us to never have a cohesive front. We don't. In coming videos, I'm going to talk more and more about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is post-Civil War, there was a newly freed slave named Belinda. She sued not once but twice and received reparations because the war had taken the two men in her family, her son and her husband. It had taken them, and she was left with just her daughter. She's a newly freed slave. She has no skills. She barely could speak the language of the land, and she won, and they paid her. Now, she did this without Instagram, Facebook, and all the rest of it. So, as I end this first video, I want to encourage you all, if you have comments, bring it. I have a tough skin, obviously. So, if you have suggestions on what we can do better with each other. And another point that I want to make, picture this. Especially during the Gulf War time, there were Muslims who we were treating like terrorists when they were nothing of the sort. Imagine being one of those Muslims and being told that you're a terrorist or treated like you're a terrorist when in your heart and soul and mind, you just want peace. You're a Muslim who actually follows the Quran, which does not tell you to blow up anybody or kill anybody. It doesn't instruct you to do that at all. And you hear that constantly, you might actually turn into a terrorist after that. I could actually see that happening. So when it comes to our Caucasian counterparts, there are some that are good, and we do not need to treat them all like they are racist, because they're not. all racist. That's the reality of it. It's not rocket surgery, people. Just think about what you need to happen in your race and what you can do to help make that happen. And just please believe me when I say this, you are not the only one that wants better for our race. And once we're a stronger race, we can be stronger for this country. This country isn't junk. It's just that the people that are running it, for the most part, are junk. So, as I end, I say, join me in trying to create a cohesive front for us all. And I'm right there with you in the fight. I'm Bo Hennessy. My Facebook page is Dark Like Me, which I started in 2018 to let people know without any uncertainty that the darker of us get treated differently than the lighter of us. And there's been some talk about that in the Tyler Perry movie franchise, how the dark-skinned men or women, man is the agitator, he's the awful one, and then the savior is the light-skinned Boris Kojo. Okay, so he was promoting that, and I'm not saying he promoted that on purpose or in all his movies, but the darker skinned of us get treated differently. I'm one of the nicest people you could ever meet, but of course, white people cross the street when they see me coming. I don't know why. I'm okay with it. More sidewalk for me. That's all I'm saying. So stop. Don't treat all white people, first of all, as if they're racist, because they're not. Stop dumping on the darker of us just because we're darker. Stop being jealous if you see someone who seems to be doing a little bit better than you. You don't know what that person is going through. And I think that's one of the reasons why I catch so much guff, is because I don't wear all my problems on my sleeve. If I go out this door right now, and the very first neighbor that I meet, I'm going to say, hey. They don't need to know anything about whether I'm broke or whatever. They don't need to know any of that, because that's not their fault and that's not their responsibility. Stop all the hating. You have to stop it. And if you don't, we're doomed. Do you see the state that we're in right now? 15 years from now, we should not still be in this state. And that's what these series of videos are about, and that's what my page, Dark Like Me on Facebook, is all about. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for your input.